while the entire world was watching the BRICS summit, anxiously waiting for bold political speeches about the collapse of the US dollar, China was playing a completely different game behind the scenes. At this very moment, as you're watching this, a hidden digital tunnel is operating at full capacity beyond Washington's reach. A silent cyber network built not to compete, but with one clear objective: to bypass the US-led global financial system. This isn't a plan for the future. It's already running today under the name mBridge. But wait a second. This is where most people get it wrong. The moment they hear the name mBridge, many assume it's simply the new name for BRICS Pay. But that's not true at all. BRICS Pay is a political initiative led by the BRICS nations. It depends on consensus among multiple countries, each with its own interests and priorities, which is why progress has been relatively slow. mBridge, on the other hand, is something entirely different. Instead of waiting for everyone to agree, China began building an independent cross-border payment network using central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, then opened the door for other countries and financial hubs to join. In other words, while the world was focused on what BRICS leaders were saying at international summits, China was quietly building a network that is already operating in the real world. If you'd like to watch our video about the ongoing battle between SWIFT and BRICS Pay, you'll find the link in the description. Now, let's continue. For decades, the United States has controlled the world's most important financial highway, SWIFT. When Germany buys oil from Saudi Arabia or Japan sends money to Brazil, those transactions typically move through a global banking network heavily influenced by the West. And whenever Washington imposed sanctions on a country, it could cut that nation off from this financial highway, leaving it largely isolated from global trade. But China didn't try to confront that system head-on. Instead, it built an entirely new road. A digital network powered by blockchain technology that doesn't rely on Western banks and doesn't have to pass through the traditional financial infrastructure the world has depended on for decades. Transfers that once took days and cost significant banking fees can now be completed in seconds at a tiny fraction of the cost. And this is where the real difference lies. While the world was focused on BRICS Pay, China was already taking action. Instead of waiting for political consensus among BRICS nations, it launched mBridge and began bringing strategic financial hubs, such as the United Arab Emirates and Thailand, into a cross-border technical network. This was no longer just about creating another digital currency. It was about building an entirely new financial infrastructure that could reshape how money moves around the world. For the first time in decades, the United States found itself facing a system it couldn't influence in the same way as the traditional one. Many of the tools that had been effective within the conventional financial network became far less powerful when transactions took place outside of it. But the biggest surprise was this. The goal was never necessarily to destroy the US dollar. It was to end its monopoly. Instead of a single financial highway running through Washington, a second route began to emerge, one that gives countries new options and gradually reshapes the global balance of economic power. If this network continues to expand and becomes a common platform for settling oil, gas, and technology trade across Asia and the Middle East, global dependence on the US dollar could gradually decline. And with it, one of America's most powerful geopolitical tools, economic sanctions, could become less effective. The battle over the dollar is far from over. But one thing is already clear. The rules of the game are no longer the same. The question the world is asking now is simple. Can the United States preserve its financial dominance, or is the era of a single global financial highway coming to an end? Stay with us as we uncover more hidden financial secrets. We'll see you in the next file.